Hey, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever it is when you're watching this. Thanks for hanging out with me. My name is Carla, and I am here to talk about crystals. This is Your Vibe Crystals. It's all about you, your vibe, and how crystals impact everybody's energy. So, what I've been doing is I typically will take some crystals with me during the day. I have a little pouch and I use my pendulum. Sometimes I always do it intuitively. Sometimes I pick a whole bunch and I can't narrow down. But last week, I have a day job and I was picking some crystals one morning and it was kind of a strange combination. So I thought it would be fun to take these crystals that wanted to be together for a couple days. I carried them before I moved on to a different combination, and kind of see what their properties were, and why I was drawn to those particular crystals last week. Trying to think of some things going on, nothing spectacular in my life. I have another day job, not a lot of stress there. Trying to get my shop back going. I have some things that I bought in Tucson on a shopping during Tucson gem show last February, and still haven't gotten up on my Etsy shop for a lot of reasons. So thinking a lot about getting some effort back into my business. So let's see what these crystals were trying to tell me last week. So the combination that came up that day was Dalmatian jasper. I have this cute little Dalmatian jasper heart and a little ruby fuchsite tumble, which is fun, and I usually just associate with the heart and health and happiness and all of those things. And then a couple little Herkimer diamonds wanted to join the party, and that was it. Those were the only ones that wanted to go with me that day, stayed with me for a couple days. So let's see if we can figure out what this combination is all about. So with crystal properties, most of it is, how does it feel to you? What does it mean to you? There are a lot of books, a lot of websites, a lot of information on the different properties of crystals. And I always use those as kind of a baseline, as a guide, but that doesn't mean that that is what it means to you on that day or what it means in combination with another crystal. So the books, my go-to books, the Book of Stones, I think everybody has. If you're into crystals or if you're getting into crystals, if you don't have that book, oh my gosh, get it. It is the best. I love the descriptions. There are two authors in here, Robert Simmons and Naisha Ashayan. I may be saying that wrong. I'm so sorry. But both have really good insights on the different properties of the crystals. I also have the Crystal Bible, which I doesn't have everything in it, and sometimes it doesn't resonate with me as much, but a very popular book and a lot of good information in here. And then there's a couple websites that I also like to go to for basic kind of common explanations of the crystals. One of the things that I do in my crystal shop is when I list crystals, I always put together a little information card that has the properties of the crystals, the chakras, and just kind of a 3-sentence, these are the common factors for this crystal. So I love to figure out the metaphysical properties of the crystals, and that's what I'm really interested in, the energies and how it can help just in everybody's daily life, in my daily life. That's how I got into it. And that's what I do here on YouTube, is talk about crystals and how I use them and how do other people use them. So anyway, I sidetracked. So let's just jump right in and take these crystals one at a time. So the first one we're going to talk about is the ruby fuchsite. And properties of ruby fuchsite, when I look here in my book, it is strong emotional body, valuing of oneself, increased life force. It is heart chakra, which it always feels to me that way. The energies of ruby fuchsite combine courage, strength, and passion, for which ruby is known, with the calming, nourishing, heart-based currents of fuchsite. So it's both empowering and strengthening to the emotional body, fosters strong overall health and well-being. For an affirmation here, it says, I value myself, I forgive myself for whatever occurred in the past, I go forward with confidence. So this speaks a little to me of happiness and coming from the heart in what you do, clearing the emotional body of regrets, forgiving for what's in the past, and moving forward. So that makes sense to me. When I see this, I always think I lead from my heart, and I try to come at a place from my heart. That's not always good, or not always what happens when you are in a job working with the public. Sometimes you lose that heart connection. Unfortunately, we're human, right? That's what happens. So this is like a little touchstone reminder to me. Always come from your heart. Now, Dalmatian jasper is not one that I would have normally put together. Like, they're not the same color. And while Dalmatian jasper is called a jasper, it's technically softer than a jasper, and it's technically a stone. But in the metaphysical world, easy for me to say, it's commonly known as Dalmatian jasper or Dalmatian stone. Now, not surprising to me, I can't find it in my crystal books, and maybe that's because it's not an official jasper by its chemical properties. So for this one, I kind of was looking online. To me, Dalmatian jasper always means happiness, joy, fun, bringing fun to your day. So I guess if I put these together, it would be finding fun with heart-based intentions. Maybe finding joy in your heart, coming from your heart. So Dalmatian stone, Dalmatian jasper, it helps strengthen your connection with Mother Earth while also channeling one's personal will in the physical realm. This unique mineral helps one pursue their goals and provides the necessary tools needed along their journey. Dalmatian stone raises one's confidence level and brings it to the forefront, showing that you are fully in control of your life path. Now that is really connecting with me right now. You know, I'm going through, I have a day job, I have a side job, crystal business, and trying to marry the two and find time for both without either one swallowing up the other. It's balancing, and I'm trying to figure that out right now. So this really makes sense that I would bring these two together. And, you know, at the time and over the past few days, I just kind of thought that's a weird combination. I know. And doing this video and going through this, I think is pulling it together for me. So that is super cool. Thanks for coming along and watching me figure this out. So Dalmatian stone is here to show you that your voice is the loudest, and it will help you disconnect from negative energies that stunt your personal growth. By listening to your inner consciousness and allowing your soul to speak, one will know the way that is most resourceful for them. Dalmatian stone will provide comfort when dealing with confusion. So that's interesting. And I'm just going to take a little side trip here. Dalmatian stone, we talked about it being a stone, not a jasper, although I call it Dalmatian jasper. But jasper just in general, I find very soothing and very comforting, and promoting your own well-being, allowing your soul to speak. So I just find jaspers all overall to be very soothing. I'll probably edit some of that out because I don't know where I was going to go with that jasper thing. All right, so moving along, the other the other ones that came up for this, I have a lot of pieces of just quartz, rose quartz, clear quartz. I think anybody who is into crystals and getting with crystals has clear quartz. And I see them as a very clear vibration, that they're clarifying, that they amplify. So when I feel tempted or pulled to put quartz in with my my other things that are going with me for the day, I kind of see them as an amplifier in a blender. Like they're the ones that are going to take all of this other energy and put it all together and amplify it for the world. So the ones that came with me are Herkimer diamonds, and I have these two little super cool Herkimers that I love them. Sometimes one will come with me. This time they both wanted to come with the group. So Herkimer diamonds are in the book here, and these are about dreams, visions, spiritualization of physical life. So considering I'm working on balance and balancing, the metaphysical interest that I have and my love of crystals with being in the real world and working with public in a day job, it kind of strikes me that it's about spiritualization of the physical life. How am I balancing this world? So the Herkimers, if you don't have Herkimers, I highly recommend getting some. They are so cool, so pretty, super pretty. I don't know if I can catch any of the little rainbows with that. And a source for Herkimers, it's not something that I currently carry to sell, because I think they're just really special, and I don't have a supplier that I could, get the quantity that I would want to be able to sell them. I like Inner Vision crystals as a source. You can Google them online. I have no connection with them whatsoever. But if you're looking for Herkimers, Moldavite, Libyan desert glass, they are very trustworthy, and you can see these are beautiful little crystals. So anyway, away from that, back to Herkimers. Crystals, beyond almost all others, are manifestations of pure, solidified spiritual light. They emanate a high, harmonious energy that positively sings on the upper level of the quartz vibrational spectrum. They broadcast their own energies. They can also pick up and magnify the frequencies of other stones. So that is super cool, especially if you're using smaller pieces. Now, Herkimers do come, like you can get a nice big size, but they're not as clear. The ones, at least the ones I've seen in person, are not as clear as these little ones. And I personally think that the size of the crystal is not super important if you can tie into the energy. So anyway, back to Herkimers. They emanate the brightest crystal light. They help purify one's energy field and attune to the white light of divine essence. Angels are drawn to the pure radiance emanated by the stones, and they can be used as aids for those who wish to communicate with the angels. So Herkimers activate and open the crown and third eye area, stimulating inner vision and a heightened dream state. Well, I was carrying them during the day. See if there's anything else here that kind of jumps out at me in relation to this combination. Herkimer diamonds help illuminate and clear the emotional body. Excellent tools for creating and maintaining dimensional doorways, healing grids, vortex grids. I have used them in grids too. So anyway, what I am concluding from looking at these stones individually is together, I think the Herkimers were amplifying and tapping into the spiritual side of what I'm thinking about lately, and the metaphysical side of my life, my interests, making sure that I keep tapped into my spirit and my higher self. And these two, I thought they were a weird pair together, but now I'm kind of looking at them, and they're both about joy and self-esteem. And I think this is really enjoying life from a heart perspective. And then amplifying it and bringing it all together with the little Herks. So interesting, super cool. So that was a big one for me last week. We'll see what pops up for me next week. And maybe I'll do this again if I come up with another interesting combination of things that call to me. We'll just get together and look up the properties and put it together. So anyway, thanks for joining me. I hope that this brings some kind of entertainment or interest to you. Let me know if you have books that you recommend that I maybe don't have in my collection, and what interesting combinations you've come up with if you carry or use crystals throughout your day. So anyway, thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.